Hello and welcome to Odds on Qualifiers for the World Cup in Europe. Last games, crucial games to get the ticket to the World Cup or perhaps the ticket to the playoffs. Ronan, how happy can you be after the late goal scoring Hungary? Hello, Ronan.
Hello. Yes, the World Cup doesn't really matter anymore. It's just getting to the playoffs is the best feeling in the world at the moment, especially if you're a team that's not necessarily Spain, but a team a bit further down. Just getting to the playoffs is a magical experience. I would recommend it to every country around the world.
Well, Alain, I don't think he's that thrilled to see the 𝗀𝗲𝗏 back in the playoffs.
Yes.
Hello. Valnegri, I think we are going to have a tough month of March with the playoffs. And in this video, we have some crucial games also to know which teams are going directly to the World Cup, which teams are going to the playoffs. For instance, we have Scotland, Denmark as a highlight. So stay with us, guys. We are going to analyze the best games on Monday, on Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to press the like. If you enjoy the videos, tell us your tips. I'm sorry, 𝐬𝐭𝐴, indeed, Nigeria were kicked out in the penalty shootout against Congo. And now let's go on with the show. And the first game, first stop is in Germany. Germany, Slovakia. Key game to know which team is going to top this group and get the direct ticket to the World Cup. Of course, Germany, super favorites. The draw is enough since the goal average is favorable for the Mannschaft. Remember, they lost in Slovakia. Slovakia, one of the surprises of these qualifiers with 12 points. They beat Northern Ireland 1-0 in the last game. They've only conceded goals in Northern Ireland. Actually, the only game they lost. So I'm not sure if there is a lot of pressure on Germany, Ronan, or everyone is taking for granted that they are going to beat Slovakia.
I don't think anybody is taking this Germany team for granted in Germany at the moment, that this will be a win for them, especially what happened earlier in the group when we started the group back in September and Slovakia won 2-0, and that kind of stunned this Germany, because the talk before that was kind of about Nagelsmann refining this team and building this team ahead of the World Cup and maybe with a chance of winning the World Cup. But when they lost to Slovakia, 2-0 to Slovakia, it was like, well, that was a proper wake-up call for this Germany side, and maybe that's what they needed, because they've won every game since, so they have been improving, but they haven't really convinced in some of those games. Just like the Luxembourg game at the weekend, it was only a 2-0 win for Germany, and we would have seen Germany in the past. I know Luxembourg are much improved compared to what they used to be, but we would have seen Germany in the past make kind of mincemeat of these sort of opponents. These, not even the bottom seeds, but the medium seeds, they would have easily dispatched before in qualifiers, and you would have kind of expected them to win every game comfortably, and they were just kind of like friendly games or warm-up games for Germany, but it just hasn't happened for them this time, and they are kind of a team in transition. If you look, there's kind of younger players in the team. Some of the older, more experienced players maybe are coming off their peak, they're coming down from their peak, so maybe this Germany was too confident going into these qualifiers, and maybe we are now seeing the realistic kind of Germany of what we should expect at the World Cup next summer, because I think they will get there. I think they will win this one. 125 here is a safe bet rather than a bet that you can look at. They've won 4 games in a row, 3 goals in the last 2 for 𝐿𝐴𝐴, so I think he could be one to look at maybe as an anytime goal scorer in this one. He's 210 for him as an anytime goal scorer, because this Germany team, he has scored 3 goals. We've got 𝗵𝐴 and 𝐶𝐿 with 2 goals each, and then nobody else in this group has scored more than 1 goal. So it is kind of a very tight group. We've seen that Northern Ireland kind of were in contention right up until the last kind of international break, but I think this is Germany's kind of chance to secure their spot, make sure they secure their spot, score some goals in this one. But I think Slovakia they have shown us before that they can get goals. They showed us in the opening game against Germany that they could get goals as long as it was people called David, because 2 guys called David scored in that game. So maybe our producer or David in the comments there, they could line out for Slovakia tonight and get a goal. But yeah, I think this one is going to have goals in it. I think Germany will win it. So Germany at home so far, they've won 3-1, 4-0. So I think this one, total goals over 3.25, looks good for me at 205.
All right, Alain, do you take for granted Germany to win, or 𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐴 is saying draw is also possible?
Yes, everything is possible in football. We know we saw. Remember the first game between both teams. Now, in my opinion, Slovakia, when they played away, is another team. Respect when they played at home. In the last 6 games, 5 defeat, only the winning in Luxembourg. That one make us thinking about the poor average of victory when they played away, but they don't play with any pressure, because to arrive at the last game with the same points with Germany and can have the possibility to win in Germany and classify is no every Slovakian people sing for that situation, and that one can be. Yes, can be affect a little maybe Germany, because Germany is young team. How they will be managed with the pressure? But I think Germany are particularly upset with Slovakia and want to take the revenge after the defeat in the first game. Um, it's difficult to imagine that. I choose 𝐬𝐵𝐴 goal or assist with an odds 1.70, and another interesting odds is Haraslin. One shot on the target is the most productive striker in Slovakia. He will be have space, is very good in transition, and maybe Haraslin one shot on the target can be another good option.
All right, 𝐬𝐵𝐴, one of the few good news for Germany. Remember, in this group, Northern Ireland is third, but they are qualified for the playoffs via Nations League. Next game we are going to analyze is Montenegro, Croatia. This is a friendly game, nothing on stake here. Montenegro out of the World Cup. Croatia got the ticket, 6 wins, 1 draw in this group. The Czech Republic is going behind them. Very quick, Alain, Montenegro has been very poor, even struggled to beat Gibraltar. So I guess Croatia could be added in an ACCA if we want, although the odds are not great.
Yes, in this group, Highland Faroe surprise was really surprised, because there was only 1 point down to Czech Republic. Czech Republic will be win his last game because against Gibraltar, but brilliant Island Faroe, one of the biggest surprise in this qualification for the World Cup, with which spirit, with which motivation, and with which energy Croatia will play this game. I think that the party after the game, their won against Faroe Island, should be really hard. And how many 11-star player will be play against Montenegro? For Montenegro is special to receive the Croatia at home. In the history, there never received Croatia. Is a celebration day for Montenegro, and how Croatia will be competitive for this game. And in my weekly prediction, I choose a lot of surprise, because I think the grade of motivation can be affect a lot of games. And in my opinion, it can be affect this game. I choose double chance 1x odds 3.36.
Okay, I read the other day, Ronan, that 𝐻𝐿𝐴 is actually the most boring capital in Europe. There's nothing going on there.
What a statistic! I wonder was it the people who lives there themselves that actually voted in this survey to say whether it was the most boring capital. But hopefully they can liven things up with a good result against Croatia, because like Alain said, it's bizarre that they've never played before. That the first time that they ever played each other was earlier in this qualifying campaign. I know Serbia and Montenegro for a while, but they never actually played Croatia either in an international match. It was only because Croatia, when they played the former Yugoslavia, all right, but they never actually played Serbia, Montenegro, so it's kind of an interesting one, and maybe that's why they're so dull. Just nothing is going on in 𝐻𝐿𝐴. But hopefully this week could be, because Alain's pick of the double chance for Montenegro doesn't really sound that outlandish, and our supercomputer, the smart bet from Oddspedia, that has given that a 5-star or 4-star for a Montenegro double chance at 3.36. So yeah, this could be a kind of match where Croatia, like Alain had said, they're in celebration mode. They have old players, like Modric he's not the youngest player anymore. He's one of the few players playing that's still older than me, so he gives me hope. But yeah, this is a team that, how much rotation will they have? I know 𝐻𝐿𝐴, the coach, came out and said that we'll see, we want to win, we'll see what and how, we want to play the best qualifiers in history. So he didn't sound that confident. He wants to win, but he didn't sound that confident. He doesn't seem to mind too much. Perhaps if they don't win here, they might have a look at some of the fringe players to see who they could bring into the squad for the World Cup, or who might have a chance coming into the squad for the World Cup. So that gives Montenegro a good chance. Montenegro a double chance obviously looks good, like Alain has said, but perhaps a bit safer, because Montenegro, they have been pretty good at home. They've beaten Gibraltar and the Faroes. They only lost 2-0 to Czech Republic at home. They could keep it tight in this one. So Montenegro Asian handicap plus 1.5 is 192.
Okay, also David is telling us Montenegro not losing this one in the boring 𝐻𝐿𝐴. And the next game is much more important, Austria-Bosnia Group H. This game is to see which team is topping this group. With a draw is enough for Austria, 18 points, Bosnia-Herzegovina, 16. They beat Romania to stay with options and to arrive to Austria again with some options. If they win, as Ireland did yesterday in Hungary, they will be topping this group. The draw is enough for this team. Ronan, only one defeat in the qualifiers for Austria. It was against Romania. They actually beat Bosnia in Bosnian soil. What do you think? Is as easy as the bookies are telling us?
I don't think so. And I think, as you mentioned, that Hungary-Ireland match, if we had to listen to the bookies, then Ireland would have had no chance of picking up a win, because they needed to win. And it's the same for Bosnia here. They need to win. And for Irish fans, we did win in Budapest, but we also will be keeping an eye on this one, because we want Austria to go through, because there's a better chance Ireland could be in pot 2 for the playoffs. They need 2 results to go Ireland's way, and this is one of them. So also, everyone in Ireland might see if they can find an Austrian flag this evening for watching this one to support Austria, because that would give whoever's in pot 1 and pot 2 gets a home draw for the first round of the playoffs. So that could be crucial. So it is kind of really important. So yeah, Austria, they will be trying to ensure that they qualify, but they have scored lots of goals in qualifying so far. So a lot of them against San Marino, obviously, and Marko Arnautovic. He has 8 of those goals. He scored 4 versus San Marino at home, 2 away. He also scored against Cyprus twice on Saturday to put Austria in this comfortable position. So he could be a good option here as an anytime goal scorer, I think. 191. Sometimes he takes penalties, not always. Sometimes he takes penalties. He is playing brilliantly for Austria at the moment. They need to get a positive result here to qualify. But because of what we've seen from Ireland and Hungary, what we're going to see in many of these games, I think, especially in the second half of matches, they will just get kind of so frenetic that the action is kind of end to end. Tactics go out the window. Everybody's just looking to score. I think there could be loads of both teams to score, yes, in any of these matches that are kind of two teams are still in contention of doing something and getting into the playoffs or getting into qualifying automatically. So both teams to score, yes, 224 looks really appealing.
Well, there is nothing to lose here for Bosnia. Alain, they have to go for it. And for Austria, we saw a big boost when Rafnik arrived to the bench. And I guess, well, he's still doing a good job with Austria.
Yeah, wonderful. It's a Bundesliga team. Most of the player playing in Bundesliga is most of the player arrived to that point of maturity to do the good things. I think in the Euro, Austria was one of the most energical team, and they lose against Turkey, maybe because they lose something in the physical condition. Because this team is a very good team when he can play with the intensity Ragnick asked to the team. It's a gegenpressing team, clearly. And when they can play with that rhythm, Austria can be competitive with every team in the world right now. We saw that in the Euro. The group was really difficult, but Austria finished first, and with the content, not with chance, with the content. And in my opinion, is a little undervalued, Austria. And the group was not so easy because Bosnia and Romania is not so easy to play. We saw some difficulty about Austria in Bucharest, especially. But right now, they arrived to the last games with two results to qualify for the World Cup. In my opinion, is really favorite. I think Bosnia play with heart with Romania. Against Romania, it was the final for Bosnia. And my question is, I don't know if Bosnia can be competitive with the rhythm with Austria playing. Austria at home is 2 years without a defeat in Prater in Wien, and yes, it's really favorite more than the odds for the game for this game. I choose Marko Arnautovic score with Austria over 1.5 goals at 3.20.
Arnautovic, what a classic. Dom Monen is going for Baumgartner to score in this one, but the both teams to score, I think, should be a very good option. Another key game in Hampden Park, Scotland playing against Denmark. This is a bizarre group because Denmark had it in their hands, but they drew at home against Belarus. Belarus that had 0 points until then. So it's a huge option for Scotland. By the way, Scotland also lost to Greece, a team with no options to go to the World Cup. So now it's in the Scottish hands. If they win here, Alain, they will go directly to the World Cup. Last time was in 98, so I cannot imagine the atmosphere in Hampden Park.
Yes, and first Denmark against Belarus, 35 shoot, not on the target, but 35 shoot, only 10 on the target, and a suicide. It is a suicide for Denmark because with the winning, travel to Hamden was so easy because with 3 points more, only losing 5-0 eliminate Denmark. Right now, if then Scotland wins, Scotland pass directly. And yes, it's strange because normally Denmark at home are a team with brilliant average of points. And when we saw the version of Denmark against Greece in 2 games, 6 goals scored, only 1 received. The game in Greece was brilliant, right? Brilliant because the team show personality to go to Greece with that atmosphere, take the possession of the ball, dominate the game. A really good production in the last 30 meters and a clear victory. After this game, nobody thought about in the last journey Denmark will be play his life in Scotland. In change, Scotland believe to make possible that Scotland in the last weeks we saw a version in Greece really bad, because in case of Scotland won in Greece, Scotland today should be in the first position with 2 results for them. When they played in Hampden, I think the heart, the atmosphere is different. Denmark probably will be found the context of the game when Denmark suffer less, because Scotland is sincerely, Scotland will be attacked. And when you attack against Denmark in transition, you can risk. But I hope, and I am totally with the strong Scottish heart for this game. Is a game with goal, in my opinion. For that reason, I choose both teams to score odds 1.92.
Scotland are going to the World Cup. 𝐿𝐵𝐴 is telling us both teams to score. David, Scotland winning by heart as an Irishman. Ronan, are you back in Scotland?
I think I'm obliged to back Scotland as an Irishman, but I think also us Irish and the Scots, we kind of have the usual kind of, we will console each other, we will make cheer each other up when things go bad, because they haven't been at the World Cup since 1998, you said. We haven't been at the World Cup since 2002. So, yeah, we have had to cry in each other's arms for many years now. So hopefully it's all changed and Scotland can get a win against Denmark. Like Alain said, playing in Hampden Park can be very difficult. Denmark obviously know themselves, because playing in the park and in Copenhagen is also very difficult. So these are difficult places when you're the visiting team to pick up points. So this is a hard one to predict, because Denmark, they only need to draw as well. And we see time and again when teams just need a draw, sometimes it can get so nervous that they let it slip. And that's what happened to Hungary. I will mention Hungary, Ireland beating Hungary 3-2 100 more times on this show. I apologise to anybody from Hungary who is watching, but I will be talking about that forever. My children will be talking about it forever, and they'll be telling their children about the time that their father screamed so loud that maybe the glass in the mirror shattered in the house. It was kind of one of those ones. But yeah, hopefully Scotland can do it. I'm not going to guarantee Scotland can do it, because like I said, it's going to be such a nervous match for Scotland too. There's so much on the line here, but both teams will get into the playoffs if they do lose. So they do at least have that fallback option. But like I say, both teams to score is a great option here. It's what SmartBet is giving 5 stars to. The AI thinks both teams are going to score in this one. I also think both teams are going to score. I also think it will be one of those matches that we'll see goals from both teams, maybe multiple goals from both teams, as they try and find a winner to guarantee their place at the World Cup. So that's why, as well as both teams to score, yes, I'm going to go for total goals over 2.25 at 187.
Sometimes it happens also that the team playing at home, they can feel the pressure with the great atmosphere. I'm sure we are going to live in Hampden Park. Let's see if this pressure is not affecting them. 𝐿𝐵𝐴, Ireland are giant killers. Let's move to the next game. Spain-Turkey in Seville. The work is done for Spain. Is not mathematically qualified, but Turkey have to beat Spain 7-0 for them to qualify. Spain 0 goals conceded, another masterclass in Georgia under Luis de la Fuente. No matter the players in the pitch, this team is destroying all the rivals. No Lamine, no Rodri, but Zubimendi guiding, 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜 also shining. Remember, Ronan, I didn't forget it. Spain beat Turkey 6-0 in Turkish soil. This is very difficult, and even if Turkey has a really good generation, they will go to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a match that mid-Turkey perhaps can write off, because, like you said, I don't think that 9-0 is going to happen. And Spain just are impossible to score against. They haven't been scored against yet. They've scored 19 goals. And this Turkey team, they will be looking to to the playoffs. They'll be looking to see what they can do there. They will be looking to get back in another major tournament after impressing in the last one. So this Turkey team is super exciting, super interesting, but we've seen Spain so far. Spain just look unbeatable. They look unscorable against. I know 𝐿𝐵𝐴 said before we started the show that we will say both teams to score no or wins to nil is banned for this episode, but I think you kind of have to look at it because that's what Spain have been doing even in Turkey. Spain to win to nil, 2-15 could be worth a shot, because Spain to win, it's not really worth looking at too much, maybe as a safe bet, but little else. But you have to look elsewhere for value. Even half-time, full-time isn't kind of going to pay you massively, so maybe you have to look somewhere else. And Mikel Merino, he didn't score at the weekend after you saying it could be an option last week, Edu. He didn't score, but he was taken off after the hour mark. He should be fit enough to play again in this one. He has 6 goals in this qualifying campaign. He has 10 goals in 40 international appearances. He played just over an hour against Georgia. He should be still sharp. Mikel Merino, anytime goal scorer, could be the option for this one at 270.
Alain, it looks like the perfect machine. You mentioned in our previous video that this is not a national team but a club team, really well drilled, and is showing again and again no matter who is playing.
Yes, De La Fuente worked really well. The federation worked really well. I live in Spain. I know the methodology and the continuity they give to the national team, because De La Fuente came from the federation. De La Fuente never managed a club team, but he known to convert a national team like a club team. And that's the difference. He won in every category. He won in under 29. He won in under 21. He won with the major national team, and the things are doing really well. How you can improve the qualification of Spain? 5 games, 19 goals scored, 0 goal received. Perfect. Is perfect. And you mentioned with Ronan, Spain have some key player out, but it's not a problem. The most important is the team, and Spain have a lot of quality. Maybe 45 players in Spain can be played with the national team to keep that dominant way to play. 45, 50 players in Liga. Yes, I think we have that count more and less. And when you have that mentality, your limit is your own limit, and that one is a result after a brilliant work and a deep work. Since the guys are under 15, under 16, 17, it's a federation job, and Spain deserve to have that results right now. Now against Turkey, the question is, Turkey will be score a goal. Probably Turkey is the most indicated team in the group to score against Spain. We saw in Turkey a 6-0. Montella is offensive manager. We saw in Fiorentina, in Sevilla, in every team. We know the model of play of Montella. He concede, but he creates too. And Turkey have probably the best offensive player generation. And he found a solution, because in Turkey they have the debate. They don't have a really strong striker, but 𝐶𝐴𝐵 can be played like a false 9, but he move, and with 𝐜𝐨𝐧𝐧𝐬𝐿, with Arda Güler, with 𝐬𝐿𝐵𝐴, you have a lot of quality, and you can play in transition, because 𝐬𝐿𝐵𝐴 is an athlete. He's not only a football player, he's an athlete. He can repeat the run and have that quality to score the goal. We saw him in Galatasaray, we saw in Turkish league and in Champions League. And I don't choose 1x2. I don't choose both teams to score. For me, is a exhibition of offensive football. For that reason, I choose over 3.25 goals, odds 1.19.
Merino is the Spanish Haaland. David is telling us I wouldn't go that far. Spain to win and both teams to score. Ronan, for you, who is better right now, Haaland or Harry Kane?
Troy Barrett It's clearly 𝐶𝐴. Hat-trick against Hungary, 2 goals against Portugal. He is the best striker in Europe. That was the question. So the best striker in Europe is 𝐶𝐴.
Okay, fair enough. Next game is Wales, North Macedonia. This group is tricky. Belgium still need to get their ticket to the World Cup, but they're playing at home against Liechtenstein. North Macedonia, they are qualified for the playoffs via Nations League. So now is the turn for Wales to finish second and go to the qualifiers. They need to win this game, though, to reach the second spot. They beat Liechtenstein also only 1-0, lost to Belgium, both games with really high scores. I guess, Alain, here we should go all the way to Wales since they are more motivated.
But Wales too is always qualify for the first spot because they do a brilliant nation league. Both teams are qualified for the playoff,
Okay.
but there will be win the second or third spot, because in the fourth spot you play against the first spot, and that one maybe is better to avoid, because when do you see the team in the first spot, except Italy, is so dangerous because we have a lot of quality in the first spot. Yes, it's one of the final in this this journey. Who arrive better? I think Macedonia, North Macedonia, give us more input like a collective team, because North Macedonia don't lose against Belgium in both games, home and away, and that maybe they have some difficulty when they need to create. But North Macedonia, the last game they lose, it was in 2024 in the official game, and against Croatia, and that one is think warning, because it's more than 12 games positive streak for North Macedonia, and they played against Belgium, and always the team is competitive, and the team have a strong defense. I trust in that type of team, and North Macedonia showed that in Nation League, in the group classification. Is difficult to dominate North Macedonia, especially against a team play a really direct football like Wales. Wales needs space because Wales is not an attacking positional team. And when we analyze that point of view, I think North Macedonia have something more right now. After there must to try to manage the emotion in Cardiff, because is another stadium where Macedonia will be feel a lot of passion, a lot of pressure. But in the last game, I am not so positive with Wales, especially with the defense. My reference is both team against Belgium, and in both teams they received 8 goals. And yes, I think North Macedonia can be surprised in a counter-attack Wales, and can be managed his area. For that reason, I choose double chance 𝐿2 odds 2.20.
Ronan, what is your take? Nureddin, this game absolutely both teams to score. No, David is already looking ahead to the playoffs. Macedonia knocking out Italy again.
This is the other match that Irish people are looking towards, because we want North Macedonia to come second in this group, because then they'll get into pot 2 or 3 and Wales will be in pot 4. So they'll be in pot 3 and Ireland will be in pot 2. So that's the hope. So no, I don't think there'll be a North Macedonian flag that I could find between now and this match. So I will have to just cheer them on from home. But yeah, this is a formality, this group. I know North Macedonia and Wales are only 2 points behind Belgium, but Belgium play Liechtenstein, and the odds of that one are 1.02. So yeah, that's the lowest match we probably can see in any fixture in this entire qualifying campaign, the lowest odds for anything. So yeah, this is the battle for second, but like Alain said, they're both in the playoffs, so it's just this match is to determine which pot you're going to be in. So if Wales win, then they will be in pot 2, so they will get a home friendly. They'll avoid getting someone like Italy or Poland or Ukraine in the semi-final. They could get them in the final, of course, but not in the semi-final. So this is a big match, kind of because of that. But otherwise, it wouldn't be too important. So that means, for me, it indicates that it could be another one of these nervous affairs. I know Alain said Cardiff is a difficult place to go, but rugby, I think, even more so than football or soccer, is where Welsh fans really get passionate when they watch their national team, because, like, I think one of our commenters said that Wales haven't been the same since Bale, and Yorker said it. So they haven't, but they do have Dan James, who scored the winner over Liechtenstein, to keep them in with this kind of chance. So they are a kind of entertaining, direct team, like Alain said. So I think there could be goals in this one. Smart bet 4 stars is for total goals over 2.5. That's 2.11. But if you look at the last time these two teams played each other, they both scored in stoppage time at the end of the second half. For Wales scored in the 96th minute. Macedonia and North Macedonia scored in the 91st minute. So I think this could be another match that we see late goals in. So over 1.5 second half goals in this match is 2.30.
Okay, I didn't include the Belgium Liechtenstein, expecting Belgium to win comfortably. And now we go to Group B, Switzerland, Kosovo. Very likely Kosovo going to the playoffs, but they've done a great qualification round in this group. Also, Sweden going to the playoffs despite having only 1 point. Switzerland still need to get the ticket in Kosovo, but it's almost done. Amazing job, Ronan. For Kosovo, no goals conceded in the last 4. Another one to pay attention, perhaps, for Ireland in the qualifiers, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Kosovo are going to be in pot 3, so they could be a possible opponent for Ireland. So I think that we'll have a look and see how they get on. But the only way they have to directly qualify is to win 6-0 here, or by 6 goals. So I don't think that one's going to happen. A win at 6 doesn't look totally unrealistic. It doesn't look like the most outlandish thing, because, like I said, Switzerland don't need to win this one. They're already kind of guaranteed to go through. I know it's mathematically possible that they won't qualify automatically, but yeah, the goal difference, they have +12, Kosovo have +1. Kosovo would need to win. Yeah, so Switzerland are going to the World Cup. So that could kind of be like Switzerland when they see that they haven't conceded 6 goals in the first half or something. Maybe they could take the foot off the gas, and then we might see both teams kind of start to enjoy themselves as we look towards the matches that to come in 2026. This one could be another match that we see some goals in, because Kosovo have been quite good at scoring. Total goals over 2.5 in this one is 188. Over 1 first half goal is 180. I also like to look at. But because Kosovo are so kind of out of favour with the bookies, I think they'll score a goal here, and I think the bookies kind of are just taking it for granted. Switzerland are going to win. So Kosovo over 0.5 goals. So Kosovo just to score in this match, I think looks a good bet at 167.
𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗏, what a striker from Mallorca. Alain, are you happy with Switzerland qualification so far?
But he's not qualified. 6-0.
Yeah,
Kosovo, yes, but Switzerland is not a team make you love. Is a really scorbutic team. Switzerland is the team. Is one of the most uncomfortable team for the biggest team in the world to play, because it's true they improve a little with in attack, in positional attack in the last 3 months, but after in some games we don't have the rhythm, or maybe 𝐿𝐭𝐴 insists a lot with that. They improve. You have many solutions respect to the past, because Vargas is brilliant in Sevilla, and Bolo is scoring and is not injured since the beginning of the season. And 𝐷oy is brilliant when he plays in national team, and Xhaka manage. When Xhaka is on fire, Switzerland make and can be compete against every team, and that is the question. how 𝐿𝐴 will be played this game, or maybe he doesn't play this game, because we know 𝐿𝐴, his history with his directly blood from Kosovo, and it's always special for him to play against Kosovo. And when they played in Pristina 2 years ago for the Euro, they draw 2-2, and that one, yes, in the motivation aspect, Switzerland was not the concentrate and disciplined Switzerland we know and we saw in Euro and in the last World Cup. And Kosovo is historical. They are writing the history. The group for Kosovo was really difficult. And in the first game, you lose 4-0 in Switzerland, but you have that skills, that passion, big heart to play against Sweden, win 2 games against Sweden. The game in Slovenia last Saturday was brilliant in the interpretation, in the solidarity, and in the collective aspect, and the way to know when the game must to be killed, that kill the game. And 𝐵𝐴, the goalkeeper, was brilliant. A lot of players Kosovo grew up in Switzerland, in Swiss football, and choose to play and defend his blood country. Is a special game for them. And in my opinion, Kosovo don't lose this game. For that reason, I choose double chance, 1x odds 2.50.
All right, and the last game is Sweden-Slovenia. Nothing on stake here. Sweden preparing for the playoffs after a pitiful qualifiers. Graham Potter's debut was a 4-1. In Switzerland, we saw Elanga, we saw 𝐿𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐸, for instance, Alain, to arrive in good mood, I guess, to March, at least to grab a positive result here for Sweden.
Switzerland are preparing the playoff. It's the last games before the playoff.
Sweden.
And Graham Potter, Sweden, yeah. Graham Potter now, I don't know that the impact he can behave with this national team. Sweden, for the striker line, is one of the most expensive striker line in the world. Is top 5. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 and Isaac in the last market is more than 2,050 millions of euro. And we check the last 5 games, and we saw a team with problem with score, with the goal. Yes, he has a lot of job. Slovenia can be a good test. Against Slovenia, we saw the most offensive production of Sweden in the last 3 months. Slovenia, in my opinion, is a little sad, is a little disappointed, because Slovenia wants or dream with some more, especially in the last game against Kosovo, because with a victory, Slovenia should be in Stockholm with his destiny in his hand. And now it's finished. Everything is finished. What can be the motivation of Slovenia? For me, it's friendly game. It's a friendly game with the defense will be open, and for that reason, I choose both teams to score odds 2.15.
It is a friendly game indeed. 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐧𝐸 going for draw here. Ronan?
Yeah, I think Alain is right. I think Slovenia are going to be kind of devastated after the performance against Kosovo, the result against Kosovo, because they were in with a chance of making a playoff, but it's totally evaporated after the weekend, and that kind of, you will go in and kind of, they don't have anything to look forward to, whereas Sweden, even though they've only got 1 point in this campaign, the Nations League is the fallback for them, and they're getting into the playoffs kind of by default. So Graham Potter and Sweden have to look towards that. They have to try and start and build something. We didn't see too much of it against Switzerland of what Potter might be building, but I know he only had a short time with the team. He only had 4 or 5 training sessions with these players before the match, so they kind of need to turn around from that defeat, kind of put that and everything else that's happened in the last year kind of in the rear view mirror, and try and build towards something, because they will have a difficult playoff semi-final coming up against one of the teams from pot 1, so it will be kind of will be a big challenge for Graham Potter. But like Alain said, they have these great players. We just haven't seen it, especially up front. They have these great players that are capable of scoring. We've seen it before for Sweden. We've seen it before for the club lots of times. I think the thing is this Slovenian double chance at 260 could be an option here, but I don't necessarily think that Slovenia after the week they've had will be too motivated. Like Alain said, it does feel a bit like a friendly match. The advantage that could be for Sweden is the weather at the moment is predicting -1 degree. So that could really help them. So Sweden to win the first half, I'm looking at here. I'm not saying they're definitely going to win the match, but I think they could score in the first half. And I think everybody might be too cold in the second half. Fans and everything, everyone might just pack up their bags and, yeah, let's get out of here and not get injured before we go back to our clubs.
Okay, well, Slovenia is not a tropical country, so I guess also they are used to the cold weather, but yeah, this is a sad, friendly game indeed. This is it then for our UEFA qualifiers. We've reached the final of the road in these qualifiers. Next stop is in March with the playoffs. This is going to be really interesting, those playoffs, I'm sure. Ronan is looking forward to those games. Remember, guys, that we have our tipster competitions going on now in our month of November. There you go. You can check the leaderboard there, and also you can check rivals and create your own tipster league and challenge your friends. Let's go with our safe bets, Ronan.
Spain to win at 126.
I like it. Alain?
Germany to win, 125.
ACCA, Ronan?
I've gone for Austria and Bosnia over 2.5 goals and Scotland and Denmark over 2.5 goals. That's for a total of 396.
Okay, and Alain?
Austria winning, Spain, Turkey over 3.25 goals, Scotland, Denmark over 1.75 goals, and Sweden, Slovenia over 1.75 goals for a total 5.66.
You make our life harder, Alain, with all this Asian handicap, then to see if the ACCA is correct or not. Choose wisely your bookie that allows you to do these Asian handicap bets. This is it. Ronan, Alain, thank you. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We are back with the 5 top leagues this week, so stay tuned in our channel. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ciao.